What's up, everybody? It's your boy Big Papa JT coming back at you guys with my Week One preview and analysis of the Week One NFL games, and I'm doing the New York Giants versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this is my favorite game of Week One because I'm very intrigued about how these two teams match up on paper. On paper, you think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to come and they're going to conquer the New York Giants and they're going to beat them handily. And rightfully so, because even though the New York Giants have the skill position, they don't. You really want to see how this Jacksonville Jaguars front seven matches up with the New York Giants offensive line, who don't really have the best offensive line. Now, the New York Giants, they added Nate Solder at free agency, which was their biggest acquisition, and they drafted Saquon, and Saquon looked pretty good in the preseason. And they got Pat Shermer, the former offensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings, and now he's with the New York Giants. And the Jacksonville Jaguars signed Andrew Norwell, and the offensive line got better. So let's get into the offense defense comparison. The Jacksonville Jaguars offense to the New York Giants defense. The Jacksonville Jaguars was sixth in the NFL and total offensive yards with 365.9 per game. They were 17th in the NFL in passing yards per game with 224.6. They were the best team in the NFL when it came to rushing the ball, having 141.4 rushing yards per game, and they had 26.1 points per game. The New York Giants were near the bottom of the worst defense in the NFL. They were 31st. They were surrendering 373.2 offensive yards per game. They were 31st defending the pass, allowing 252.4 passing yards per game. And they were 27th stopping the run, allowing 120.8 rushing yards per game. And they gave up 24.3 points. Now, the New York Giants offense compared to the Jacksonville Jaguars defense. New York Giants offense was 21st in the NFL, having 314.3 offensive yards per game. They were 19th passing the ball, 217.4 pass yards per game, and they were 26th rushing the ball in the NFL with 96.8 rushing yards per game, and they had a pitiful 15.4 points per game. Now, Jacksonville Jaguars defense, who came to get the name Saxonville, was second in the NFL in total defense behind the Minnesota Vikings, allowing only 286.1 offensive yards per game. They were the best team stopping the pass, only allowing 169.9 passing yards per game. And they were 21st stopping the run, allowing 116.3 rushing yards per game. And they only gave up 16.8 points per game. Now, the keys to victory that each team needs to do to the Jacksonville Jaguars need to establish the run game, force turnovers, and force passing situations. If they establish the run game, they will expose the flaw of the New York Giants. I think the New York Giants are better stopping the pass this year, but they're still not that good stopping the run. And as you guys know, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to pound the ball and keep the ball out of Blake Bortles' hands and not let him have to win the game. And they added Andrew Norwell, which increasingly is going to make the running game a lot much better. They need to force turnovers so they can get the ball and they can keep chewing out clock. And they need to force passing situations, because I'm not saying the New York Giants offensive line is terrible, but this is the strength of the Jacksonville Jaguars, creating sacks and having to try to get a lot of yards against Jalen Ramsey and AJ Boye in this stout pass defense and these pass rushers. And the New York Giants need to get Saquon going early, and they need to force Blake Bortles to win the game, because if you force Blake Bortles to have to win the game, you have a good opportunity of winning. It's similar to what the Patriots did. They let the Jacksonville Jaguars do their thing, but they made him win the game in the last 2 minutes. And to win the game, they need to stop the run, which is the most important, because if you can't stop the run for the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're going to pound the soul out of it, and they're going to chew a lot of Time on the clock. Now, the team I have winning this game, I really don't know who to choose, but I'm just going to go with the New York Giants because I betted somebody $10 that a Jacksonville Jaguar fan that they will lose. And I have the New York Giants winning in a tightly contested battle. I have them winning 20-17. So I think it's going to be decided by a field goal. Let me know what you guys think, and down in the comment section below who will win. Make sure to like the video and subscribe. And thanks for watching.